With the program Beyond 100 Days with me, Abosedi Adeniran, joins the conversation on X at TVC News NG with the hashtag Beyond 100 Days. We are staying with the helicopter crash in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, which claimed 3 lives. The accident occurred at 11:22 a.m. along the waterways in Port Harcourt when the helicopter, a Sikorsky SK-76 with registration 5NBQG and operated by East Wind Aviation, was en route from Port Harcourt military base to the Newmantown oil rig. Spokesperson for the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, a total of 8 persons were on board. The aircraft ditched into the waters near Bonifinima in the Atlantic Ocean. Rescue efforts have been activated with the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau and neighboring aerodromes notified. He added that search and rescue operations have commenced with the support of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority and other relevant agencies. In the meantime, the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has directed search and rescue teams to intensify efforts following the crash. Although no emergency locator transmitter signal was received, manual tracking efforts are underway, and all available resources have been deployed to locate survivors. The minister has reaffirmed the government's commitment to a coordinated response to minimize casualties and provide necessary support to the affected families. And the NNPC Limited has confirmed that the helicopter was conveying its staff. It had taken off from the Port Harcourt NAV base en route the FPSO Noimzantan. The helicopter was operated by East Winds Aviation. In a statement by Chief Corporate Communications Officer Olufemi Shoneye, he said, quote, "We shall continue to monitor the situation and provide regular updates as the event unfolds. Our prayers are with the passengers, crew, and their respective families at this very difficult time. We are sure that we will continue doing everything possible to support the ongoing search and rescue operation." End of quote. Our senior reporter Ayomide Ajegbe joins me now for more updates. Ayomide is with me here in the studio. Ayomide, good to see you.
Thank you very much, Abosedi.
All right. As an aviation correspondent, talk us through what you understand about this aircraft and the crash that took place in Port Harcourt today.
All right. Thank you very much, Abosedi. Sikorsky, that's the name of the helicopter. It was manufactured in 1923. It's just like you have different kind of vehicles that with their manufacturers, you know. We have different manufacturers of helicopters as well, even aircraft. It's named after Igor Sikorsky, a Russian aviation pioneer who was based in America at the time, and is one of the strongest helicopters in the world. If you go through history, you will discover that it was used majorly for military operations back then. But along the line, they started creating smaller aircraft that could accommodate civilians, which they have been using for a while. Now, if we look at the size of helicopters generally, they can take as much as 1 to 6 persons on board. And also, we have the larger commercial aircraft that take up to 20 to 22, and then we have the ones that can up to 50 to 55. That's the maximum you can have on an helicopter. This particular crash in Port Harcourt, we can understand that the normal level for that helicopter to rise for above sea level is 40,000 feet. Now, this is similar to what happened with Albert Wigwe, who was traveling in US at that time. They lost the contact with air traffic control, and that's how the helicopter crashed. So we can go on and talk about all of this, but we understand that this particular set of helicopters, they are very, very, it's important for you to maintain them from time to time so that they can be in best use.
So maintenance is key. And you know, Ayomide, there have been similar occurrences of helicopter crash in recent past. Talk about the one that happened in December in St. Port Harcourt, actually. And in August, you know, there was another that time in Lagos, in Oba Akran, just very close to us here. What has been identified over time as the major reason for these crashes?
Helicopter pilot error is one of the major issues that causes helicopter crashes everywhere around the world, not just Nigeria. Now, when you go back to some of the major helicopter crashes that happened in Nigeria, you will understand that there's been a lot of things that are attributed, especially from the Nigeria Safety Investigation Bureau over time, and some of the things that were highlighted. You talked about the one that happened in Upper Akran last year. It was a case of a pilot error in that instance. We have the one that happened on December 1st, still in that Port Harcourt. Pilot error was the same reason. Now, there's one that would have been devastating in 2019 on the 2nd of June. That's the one that involved the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, that was averted in Kogi State. Now, all of this put together underlines the major issue, the major what causes this helicopter crashes in Nigeria. Now, when we put all of this together, will we understand that maintenance is key? Now, if, like we have a normal aircraft, which are not helicopters, you know, some helicopters are bigger in sizes, just like we have some trucks on our roads, and we have the smaller cars. The trucks take maybe 2 or 3 passengers, and then have a lot of loads and some of that. While the smaller vehicles have bigger, much more passengers, but they have smaller capacity for cargo. Now, we have some of these helicopters that are designed majorly not for passengers. In fact, there are times they substitute fuel for passengers in helicopters so that there can be safety and everyone will be on the safe side.
All right, Ayomide, thank you very much for this perspective you've given us into this issue. Ayomide Ajegbe is our senior reporter covering aviation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's now bring in Director General of the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, Captain Alex Bade Jr., for more on this. Captain, well, this is breaking news, of course, and we're getting information by the hour. We heard that 3 bodies have so far been recovered. What more can you tell us about this helicopter crash?
Good evening. So far, we don't know too much. We just know it departed Port Harcourt earlier in the morning, and just a few minutes prior to landing, they informed the rig where they were landing that they needed to ditch. And I think about a minute later, they ditched in the ocean. Once that was done, I understand the rig sounded alarm, and they sent out the boats, and a few other boats and ships in the area helped with the rescue efforts. They were able to pick out 3 bodies in the water, but so far they haven't recovered any more. The search and rescue is still ongoing. It's a little late now. I know the Nigerian Navy dispatched a helicopter that went out there and then came back to shore because of the weather. So that's really hampered the search and rescue operation this evening. It will continue tomorrow morning, I presume, probably late into the night, and then early tomorrow we'll know a bit more what led to this when we start our investigation.
All right, hypothetically, do we know the cause of the crash?
Oh, no, that'll be speculating. We have no idea now until we get the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder, as well as communication between the helicopter pilot and air traffic control. We can start to formulate ideas as to what happened. We will have our preliminary reports out here in about 30 days once we're able to recover the FDR, CVR. I believe the helicopter crashed in an area where between 50 to 100 meters of water, so we'll have to coordinate with the Nigerian Navy for divers to go in there to recover the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorders.
You mentioned it's late and that rescue operations would continue tomorrow. Does it mean that it would be suspended for the night?
I can't say it's been suspended or not. I know there are boats out there, but we're talking about the air component to this will most likely resume in the morning.
All right, then. And the minister, in the statement released, actually indicated that no emergency locator transmitter signal was received and that manual efforts to determine the accident location are underway. What is the implication of this?
Well, first, the location has been it's been located. The crash location is known. As for the ELT, I'm not sure. I mean, sometimes it might fail to deploy. I can't speak as to the veracity of that at this moment. But the airplane or the crash site has been located, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know.
All right, and from your experience as a captain, what really could have gone wrong with this helicopter?
That would be speculating again, and I can't speculate at this moment.
All right. We know the NNPC also has released a statement saying that the helicopter was carrying its staff. There were 6 passengers and 2 crew members on board that ill-fated helicopter. What more can you tell us, and what kinds of support could be available in the end?
For the family, we do have a Department of Public Affairs and Family Assistance with the NSIB, so we'll be reaching out to the victims' families once they've been notified. Same goes for the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. Our prayers and thoughts go out to them, so we will be reaching out to them to offer them our support at this time. We will coordinate more with the NNPC once we know more tomorrow. Our GO team will be departing from Abuja and Enugu to Port Harcourt for onward transportation offshore tomorrow to go to the accident scene.
All right, then. Director General, Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, Captain Alex Badi Jr., thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
You are watching the program Beyond 100 Days. After the break, we will talk some more about the rejigging of the cabinet by President Bola Tinubu, where 5 ministers were sacked, 7 new ones nominated, with 10 ministers redeployed. Please stay with us on the program.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu do solemnly swear.
Sometimes it's the story that calls. At other times, the people just want to be heard.
School, I need students, but I need teachers.
Can't continue like this.
Their voices re-echoing through time itself.
We haven't done anything. If the tide is high, everybody run for safety.
Their tears leave a sweet sour taste for all their demands. A familiar call beckoning for change. In our world, no one expects a disaster to happen. But when it does, we'll be there to x-ray all sides, from the east to the west, north and south. Community Forum will examine the oddities and challenges to economic development, as well as issues yearning for government intervention. Watch fresh episodes of Community Forum on Sundays by 9:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu do solemnly swear